Welcome to the Lou&Sue podcast,
where we chat about life, love, and what we've learned.
So grab your cutest mug
and join us.
Hi, welcome to the Lou&Sue podcast. Today's episode is called Cheap Thrills.
Simple happiness.
But you're supposed to sing it.
Oh, sorry.
I'm giving you shit.
Okay. I love cheap thrills.
There
I
you
can't.
go.
I don't sound like Sia.
It doesn't matter.
Or the crowd that's
I guess
singing
it's the crowd,
that.
right?
Yeah. I wish I sound like Sia. She's got a very strong voice. Okay. Anyways,
Yes.
I'm off topic.
Anyways, that's okay. It's fun today.
Yeah.
So we were talking about, because we did the Let Them book last week. She's had a quote, which Susan's gonna say the quote.
Tell me, what is it you plan to do with that one wild, precious life? And it's a Mary Oliver quote.
It just got us thinking about like the things that make us happy that don't necessarily cost any money, and things that maybe we don't remember that really makes us happy. We start thinking about it, it's like, yeah, that was something, especially like in our childhood and stuff like that. And just taking a second to remember those things and appreciate those things. And so we've got some questions we're going to ask each other.
Yeah.
And see what the things that we love are.
Yeah, things that just really bring us joy in life. And I think kind of it sort of stemmed from last week. We were coming up with some new topics to talk about, and I did something, and Lou said, "You're so organized," and I was like, "Oh, that felt good." And I was like, you know what? We should come up with things that just make us really happy. And for me, one of them was just getting really nice, true, like honest compliments, especially on something that maybe you do admire in yourself and maybe people don't point out very often. And to reference back to the 5 love languages as well, mine is words of affirmation. And that's probably why it brought me so much joy, because it's just my thing.
Yeah.
So, and also I wanted to say, referring back to what I said when on my way here, Lou messaged me to get, if I was at Tim Hortons, if I would pick her up an ice cap. And I would not have gotten that because I have been disconnected from my phone, as some of you know from previous episodes we've talked about. Not only are we not having the phones in our living room at night anymore, but I am on a social media fast for Lent. So I haven't had social media for like a week and a half, something like that. And so, so I forgot my phone at home. Just completely didn't even clue in. And it was like 10 minutes, and I'm never late. And it was like 10 minutes before I got here, and I was like, I don't have my phone. So I ran back home. Luckily, I just live down the block pretty much.
Yeah, it's close.
Yeah, but it hit me. I'm like, wow, I didn't even notice I don't have my phone. And it's a really good feeling.
In this day and age, that's rare.
Yeah.
Like that's
Lou's like, that's a miracle.
That's massive.
I know, that's crazy.
Massive.
Okay, so what is one thing that makes you happy to clean?
Because of the way my layout of my apartment is, I'm gonna say my kitchen, because my island's all perfectly clean. It's like the center main thing as soon as you walk in, and it feels good. It feels like
a clean kitchen is nice.
I got my stuff together.
Yeah, especially if you have open concept areas, because then if you're sitting on your couch, you can see your kitchen.
Exactly.
And it's hard to relax. We've talked about that before.
Yeah.
If you have a mess. Mine's too. My bathroom, because it's so satisfying when it's like deep cleaned. Also, I dropped my toothbrush this morning behind the sink, so instead of trying to wash it, I'm going to get a new toothbrush on my way home.
There you go.
That grosses me out.
Some things you can't quite clean enough for that.
No. Like if it ever fell in the toilet, there's no saving that.
Yeah.
I've seen people say that they throw their toothbrushes in the dishwasher. I will buy a new toothbrush.
They're so cheap. Why would you do that?
Just buy it. You're supposed to replace it every 6 months anyway. Yeah. So,
Which I think I probably only do it once a year.
Yeah, it's got to be pretty wrecked. You know what, though? I get my teeth cleaned like every 6 months to a year. So they usually give you a new toothbrush.
That's usually where I get my toothbrushes.
Yeah.
Or like Christmas time.
Yeah.
Somebody will put one on a stocking or something. But
do you remember trick-or-treating and people would, every once in a while, hand out a toothbrush?
No.
Oh, there was a dentist that lived in our town.
Oh, that would explain it, yeah.
and she had toothbrushes instead of. I appreciate it now, but I wouldn't.
Well, you have all these candy. Don't forget to brush your teeth.
Yeah, it also
that makes
had
sense. Actually, it does go together.
her number on it.
Yeah.
Advertising.
So it's smart.
Yeah. But the other one is my car, and that's my plan for this afternoon because it's like spring here now. Mm-hmm. It's like an early.
We're finally getting a nice sun, and
yeah.
Every spring I do a good cleaning the inside. I'm constantly cleaning my car is always clean, but I go through the car wash as much as I can too, just because it's so satisfying looking at it. It's also all white, which makes a big difference too. So it's like, and like yours is even worse because it's all black. So it's even worse. Mine at least looks clean even if it's not. But to look at it and be like, it's so clean. My backup camera's so clear.
My husband just got his detailed yesterday too, so now it's a bit of a.
So it's your turn.
Yeah, but my that was my Valentine's Day gift to him.
Yes.
Because he quit smoking and he's maintained that, so we got the car smelling nice and fresh like it's brand new. Mm-hmm. So that makes me happy too.
So good job her husband.
Good job, husband.
My cat is playing with stuff he's not supposed to play with. Sorry.
It's your turn.
Your turn. What is your favorite time of the day?
Mine's the morning. I'm definitely a morning. I've become a morning person. I really enjoy my morning routine. I've talked about it probably almost on every podcast. I get up, I shower, I turn my heated blanket on before I leave the room, and then I come back in and do my Bible reading alone and my journaling. And it's my preparation for my day. It gets me mentally ready, and I absolutely love it.
So mine differs from during the week when I'm working and then on the weekend when I'm not. So I'm going to start with the weekend. Mm-hmm. I find I'm most productive at like 11 till 2 or something like that. So I'm going to say that's my favorite time of the day because I usually get stuff done that I want to get done without having to rush in the morning. I get up when I feel like getting up and all that stuff. So that's good. But then during the week, I like the evening, like the early evening. So like I get home from work and I've had my supper and stuff like that, and then I usually have some kind of project going on. Right now it's my hair. If you're watching on video, yes, it's completely blonde, no more roots. But again, if I start doing something, I'm good, but if I like sit down and start watching TV, I won't do anything all night.
Yeah. By the way, I have to tell you, speaking of compliments, last Tuesday I forgot to send you the screenshots of the messages, but my friend in Ontario was watching our episode and she sends me this big long message. Lou's hair is so beautiful. And then I told her you do it yourself and she was blown away. So I have to show you those screenshots.
This is a big thing about today's episode. She was talking about how it made her happy to get complimented about being organized. Mm-hmm. I do my hair myself. I've been doing my hair myself for a long time. So getting compliments on my hair means a lot. When people are shocked that I do it myself, it means a lot because I take a lot of pride in that.
Yeah.
And then when I used to dye my hair, I have cat hair in my face, I'm sorry. But when I used to dye my hair bright colors, I would love if I go to the grocery store, for example, and I'd see like a kid pull on mom's arm. It's like, oh my God, look at her hair. Yeah. And I would hear it. It's like, how does that not make you smile? Of course it makes me smile.
I mean, it would make you smile even if you didn't do it yourself, right? Like if you got your hair done at a salon and somebody was telling you look great, but the fact that you are responsible for it too and you have that kind of talent, it is a nice compliment.
Yeah, and I love, like you can tell when it's like genuine shock or like, what?
Yeah, I have to show you the screenshots. I don't know why I forgot to send those to you.
Well, she has her phone with her now, so she can show me her screenshots. We'll do that afterwards.
Yeah. What was it? Did I answer that one?
Your favorite time of the day, you started it.
I did.
That's why,
Okay.
So you get to ask the next question.
Okay, what's something you can't live without?
My cats. Yeah. They're my babies.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that I enjoy, but I can basically live without essentially everything. I could figure it out. Mm-hmm. But coming home to my cats after work or even at lunchtime, I don't know, they're my babies.
Yeah.
They make me happy. They follow me around. They're like dogs. As soon as I come in, they come greet me and follow me to the bathroom. They come to bed with me. And there's always a moment, I think, in every single day where I'm like, oh, you're so cute. Mm-hmm. Oh, I love you.
Yeah.
So just this morning, I woke up and my cat is kind of in my doorway in my bedroom. I'm like, are you guarding the door for me? Like, you're so sweet. And I'm sure it's not what he's doing, but You never know, though. That's what it felt like this morning. I'm like, oh, you're protecting my...
I mean, dogs do that.
Yeah.
When we go to bed, we close our doors. The dog sleeps outside. And about 5 to 10 minutes after we start, like, we shut everything down, you hear the circles out in the hallway, and then you hear the thump up against the door because he will not leave our side. He makes sure there's nobody getting to us in the middle of the night. And cats do that too. So yeah,
cute. Especially my cats. They're ragdoll cats, and they're kind of dog-like in a lot of their characteristics, and but they're fluffy.
But they're fluffy. And originally, when we came up with this topic of discussion, we picked Cheap Thrills because we were kind of thinking it has to be something that doesn't cost any money. That was sort of our initial. So some of my answers are based off of that, and mine was hot shower. I have to start my day with a hot shower, and I haven't brought myself to doing the cold afterwards yet.
I tried to do that in the shower once, and I'm just like, whoa, nope, nope. It's not the same effect. It doesn't have the same effect.
No, that's like at the Evolve Spa, where people are going to be like, can you stop talking about it? When they do
every single episode so far.
So far, yeah. But when they do the bucket dump, there's a bucket dump there that's the ice. We haven't done that one.
Yeah.
But we'll do the cold plunge. There's something about the shock of it hitting you rather than you being in control of.
Yeah. That's got to be what it is.
Yeah, we're control freaks. We've already talked
we are.
about this. Yeah. But yeah, no, that's the hot showers do it for me. And again, that's my morning. So
yeah, that works. I may, again, hot, but like more bath time at night kind of thing. So
yours is your unwind and mine is my get up.
Yeah, we're different that way. Okay, what's something you've always wanted
besides $1 million?
Mind you, that would translate into just the freedom to do what you want when you want, and it's not about the money. It's like that. Honestly, that's probably would be my answer if I was gonna be just to have the freedom to not worry about.
Yeah, I was gonna
if I want to go somewhere, or if I want to, change, like not change careers, but like just do something different.
If you could try anything,
something different.
Money wasn't
correct
necessary. Yeah,
just the freedom.
Yeah, that's that would be an answer right there.
Yeah.
Initially, I said strong nails because I just they won't grow and they break before they get to any length. But on a non sort of surface level thing, I think I've talked to you about this before, that my ideal situation would be to be able to travel and explore abandoned houses, and whether I podcasted those or videotaped them at all, I love that. Just
for yourself.
Yeah.
I would like to have a magical hair that I can do what I want with it, and it doesn't break off. I've had people ask me, like, why do you cut it? I'm like, I'm not cutting it. It's not on purpose.
How long? Okay, so I've known you for 10 years.
Yeah.
And I've cut your hair 3 times in 10 years?
Only for it to make sense, because it got so bad that it made sense. I've never on purpose wanted to cut my hair.
To like blend breakage in, basically.
That's the only time,
Yeah.
It's never been
or to do like,
hey, I want a different style. It's, well, aside from the undershave, but it's been like, okay, this is so broken. Make it make sense.
She didn't have a choice. So in 10 years, you've had, because you haven't got anybody but me, right?
Correct.
Yeah, she's had, so she gets chemical haircuts.
I get perks from my best friend being a barber too.
There's that too. Yeah.
And this is something that's funny too. Growing up, my mom cut all of her hair.
Yeah.
So I've gone as an adult somewhere else, but in general, most of my haircuts my entire life have been free.
Yeah.
Or the price of a coffee or something that I will bring her at her work kind of thing.
Yeah.
Cheap
thrills.
Yep.
Okay, what is a feel-good movie that always does it for you? Like, what's your go-to movie?
I like, I have like Uptown Girls, or I'll watch Coyote Ugly actually quite a bit. Something about that one that I like, but I think mine's more of a series, like Friends. Friends always makes me happy.
Yeah. I have movies that we've talked about this before too. There's going to be a lot of things we've talked about before as we go through this podcast journey, but there's ones that I've watched probably to the point of, again, ruining the DVD. Eat, Pray, Love is one for me, which Lou hadn't seen before.
I finally watched it after when she brought it up the first time.
Yeah, I was like, you have to watch this movie.
It's very good. I understand why she likes it.
Yeah, but I'm a weirdo. I like kind of morbid things too, and sometimes they weirdly release more tension for me than happy movies. So I am a big fan of 2012 and The Day After Tomorrow and like San Andreas
Now
Falls.
I don't know if I've seen 2012.
Or not San Andreas Fault. Fault. That's the word. Yeah. You don't know if you've seen 2012.
I probably have, but I'm just trying to picture what it is. I'll look into that.
It's like you remember in 2012, like the Mayan calendar ended or whatever, and so this, like the world was gonna go, like,
I don't know if I saw it.
Okay. Anyways,
I'll take a look.
Yeah.
I'm watching Dexter, Original Sin right now, and those kinds of shows also very much make me happy, which is sad. You know what they say? Like if you watch true crime, this isn't true crime. This is fiction at least. But if you watch this to relax, like but it is relaxing.
It's very. My friend out west too. She's the same way. There's something about it, and it's the same with if you watch Hoarders to make yourself feel better about your house being messy, because
I had to stop watching Hoarders. I watched an episode where she couldn't find her cats, and I'm like, that's it.
There's
I'm not
actually
doing
been a
that
few like
anymore.
that. Yeah.
Can't do it. Like I like cats too much.
Yeah.
That one hit too hard. I'm like, no.
It's unreal, and it makes you wonder how you ever
sad.
get to that point. Like if you can't get into your house and you have like a hallway, like at what point do you just go, okay, well we have to do something about this?
But that's a whole other topic.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's a mental health.
I was gonna say it's a mental health problem there because there's no way.
No. Some people eat, and some people hoard. And some people, you know what I mean. Everybody has I guess a coping mechanism that at the end of the day actually is making your problem compounded and not better.
Correct. Yeah.
But this isn't Cheap Thrills. Okay, back on track.
No, yeah, let's get back. This is what we do. We wander off. What is a character trait that you got from your mom that you love, and then one that you got from your dad that you love?
I'm not a lot like my mom. So I would have to say from her, I probably got her love of taking care of people, like feeding them and, and then from my dad, he was a car salesman and a big personality and funny and quick-witted, and I think that I take after him that way. So I really love that I have that part of his personality.
I should have thought of this one a little bit first.
And your parents are listening, so
yeah. Okay, so let's start with my dad. My dad's pretty laid back, go with the flow in general. So I'm gonna say that's probably. So I'll give you an example. I know we're not like overly explaining our things here, but we went to Toronto. We went to ball game and all that stuff, and I had everything in my phone: our plane tickets, our tickets for the train thing or whatever to get from the airport to our hotel.
The shuttle.
The shuttle. Thank you. The tickets for the ball game. Everything was on my phone, so he didn't have to do anything, and that was like the thrill on his face when he's like, "This is amazing."
Yeah.
So. It's just,
She had that same look when we went to PEI, and I did everything.
Yes. I get it. I love it. You're going to take care of everything? This is amazing.
I'm in.
So I'm like my dad a lot for that. My mom, this could potentially be a negative thing, but I don't think it is. Like she'll almost overanalyze things.
I was just gonna say it's the
but it's a good thing because then like we think through everything, and I like to see the different sides of things too, so I don't quickly judge on a situation. It helps me frame a reference and things like that we talked about with the Let Them book. Yeah, I've always liked that about myself, that I'm a good listener, which my mom is as well. And I like seeing all the different sides and then kind of getting a better overall idea and understanding things.
And I think that makes you and your mom also very friendly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you're not shut off from people at all, either one of you. Yeah. So that's
very friendly, very empathetic. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. Was that me or you?
We both answered those.
No, but that was you.
I asked that. Yeah. I don't have any more.
Oh, okay. That's it for you?
Unless I come up with something else.
Okay. I don't know how to ask this. So one of the things we were talking about, it's referring to travel, was that like Lou hasn't traveled as much as I have.
Yeah.
And I said that I hadn't either until I was like 20. But one of the things that really brought me joy was realizing that travel was a possibility. It was within my grasp, because growing up in our childhood, people didn't really travel, especially with their children.
Yeah.
Unless they were really well off. Like people who went to Disneyland had money, you know. Everybody knew those kids that got to go to Disneyland, and we were not them. So I always felt that travel was something that was only for people who were really, really well off. But the truth is, if you budget for travel and you put a little bit away every week or every month, it is within your grasp. And so travel for me is probably one of the things that brings me the most joy in life, because you will always have those memories, new experiences. Yeah. You get to see the different ways of life. If you go to a country who's not as well off as you, when you come home, it gives you so much gratitude for how you live. Mm-hmm. Just there's so much about travel that's really rewarding and broadens your horizons.
I was going to say, because it opens you up to different cultures and different ways of life that you wouldn't think of otherwise.
Different language, different music, different food, different religions, different everything. Mm-hmm. It's incredible. And I mean, I try to go to Cuba. I'm going next month, and this will be my fifth time going. And I absolutely love it because the people are just wonderful. Mm-hmm. They're like Maritimers with a tan, is how I describe it.
That's good.
So one of the question was, what is your favorite city other than the one you currently live in?
So I went to Toronto twice. Both times it was to go to the ball game and all that stuff, and I loved it there. I didn't see very much of it, but what I saw of it was nice. I was also born close to Toronto. One thing that was fun about bringing my dad is he lived in Toronto. My parents lived in Toronto for a while, and I had more fun going with my dad because he could tell me different stories about this street and that street and this area, and I used to work here and this and that, so that was a lot of fun. But I think it was experience of it and not specifically the city, but I did enjoy the city as well.
Yeah, there's some cities I've been to more than one time, and depending on who I went with or what I was there for, I enjoyed it on different levels. Yeah. I've been to quite a few now in the States, but my favorite one I've ever been to, and I've been twice, is New York City. And my plan was to bring my daughter this summer again, but we'll see how tariffs and things go and exchange rates. But it is just a vibrant city. And there's so many museums, so much history there. Times Square is amazing. And what I love about New York is everybody minds their business. So when you're there, if you go down and you grab a coffee and walk around, you can almost pretend that you live there. It's really neat. And so I'm hoping I can bring my daughter there. And then there's a lot of places that I haven't been to that I want to go. So where do you want to go?
I've never done the down south resort. I went to Mexico once and it was great, but we did a lot of places. We went to 8 different places in 8 days when we were there, so it was good. We experienced a lot of things, but I still would like to do the experience of the resort. So I haven't done that yet. That's one of those things where, I mean, because I haven't really traveled much, I don't feel like I would miss out if I don't, but it would be something that I kind of wouldn't mind doing. Yeah.
I think that the more you travel, the more your list of where you want to go will be. Yeah. And movies, again, that is sort of where you get your, I really want to see that. Yes. Like Eat, Pray, Love, she's in Italy, and I mean, she makes it look incredible. And same with Under the Tuscan Sun. I think a lot of women can relate to watching that movie and then wanting to go to Tuscany. So what about places that you don't want to go? Is there anywhere? Oh, mine's Scotland, by the way. That's my next.
That you want to go to?
That I really want to go to, yeah.
I don't want to go to the States right now.
No.
Just right now.
Yeah. I almost brought my baseball cap I just bought myself that says Canada's not for sale to have in the background here.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, we'll bring it some other time, probably.
Yeah.
I don't know where I wouldn't want to go. I wouldn't want to go anywhere too poor. It's depressing.
Yeah.
And I don't, it's sad. It makes me feel bad to even say that, but
I think the thing is, because I have been in places like that, it's not though.
It's not.
I mean,
okay.
it is in the fact that you feel for these people, obviously.
Yeah.
But what the resounding feeling I get when I come out of those situations is that they still have this unadulterated joy,
Yes, that's
and
true.
sometimes more than we do.
Yeah.
Which, again, to kind of come back full circle to this, I mean, there's the cell phones aren't in existence. They're spending time with their families. In a lot of cases, they have way more time with their families because they're not hung up on the materialistic things because they just don't exist for them. Having said that, I mean, having a lack of food is a completely different ballgame. Having a lack of medical attention. Right now in Cuba, if you have a headache, you can't even really get Tylenol. So, I mean, but at the same time, like I said, when I come home, I'm moving slower because they're not as rushed. They don't live a rushed lifestyle. And I feel like it's a reminder that if they can be that joyful with as little as they have, what excuse do I have?
Yeah.
So it's a little bit of a different, I don't know. I think it hits differently than you think it would.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure it would.
For me, it's more like like I would never want to go to like Tokyo or Hong Kong or.
Oh, that's just too
very crowded.
crowded, yeah.
And polluted and way too people-y. Yeah, I don't want to. No, and culturally, it's not a culture that I guess entices me or interests me that much. I don't have a whole lot of knowledge about it, but it feels very distant from. I don't know. I guess I'm not as interested in the history of it as well. Like, I'm very interested in the history of Europe, and I guess probably because that's where my ancestors come from. I don't know. So, but yeah, it's, I do love it though. It's very educational. And I feel like when you can't travel, the beauty is that now we have YouTube.
Yes.
And you can literally do museums on YouTube now, and your remote control can look around for you. So if you want to see what's on that shelf, you can move the remote. It's pretty neat. I did an Auschwitz tour on there. I don't know if I've mentioned that before. No. And there's some museums in the States that have virtual tours available on YouTube. So money doesn't have to be a barrier to experiencing things in life. Although obviously it would be so much more amazing to be there. But yeah, there's a lot of great things out there now that didn't exist 50 years ago for us to experience, parts of the world that we would otherwise not get to see. But on that note, another thing that's helping the joy right now is that I'm not on social media and that I'm not watching the news, which I haven't been watching for years anyway. But we were never meant to know everything that was going on negative all over the world within seconds of it happening. And I can't remember what book I read that was talking about this, where, 100 years ago, if something bad happened, you had to wait till it made it through the channels and made it onto either the radio, and your family sat around at night around the radio listening. No television. I'm trying to think, 100 years ago. Yeah, no television. You would go to the theater, and sometimes they would have like news broadcasts before the movie started, or in an actual newspaper. But even then, it would be maybe a week or 2 weeks since, till something got out.
By the time it got there,
Yeah. So now in our culture, if you go on the internet, you're going to hear things that happen negatively all over the world almost instantaneously, complete with videos that are sometimes very graphic. And we wonder why. I was having this discussion with a client yesterday. We wonder why we're depressed. Like, turn it off. I challenge everybody out there. Turn off the news for a week. You are not going to die. It's okay if you miss what Trump said last. For me, it
actually brings you more joy if you miss what he says.
Yeah. Yeah, it's nonsense anyway. And I feel like as I'm saying this, we're on social media, and don't turn us off. Turn everything else off.
Right? We're once a week. You can do this.
We're here to bring you joy. But yeah, the amount that I have to talk about it just in my job, because I work with men all day long, I figure the only way for me to balance that out is to completely get rid of it in my own life at home.
Yeah.
So I don't ever listen to the radio in my car. I only listen to music. I read books on my phone. And it really is a game changer. So if you're having trouble right now and you find it's a lot, for me, it's so easy for me to shut things off. And it's the first thing that hits my mind is to turn it off. I feel like not everybody realizes that. Like, you don't realize how much it's affecting you. You need to detox from it. You need to shut it off.
Yeah.
Give yourself a week. Challenge yourself.
See, we talked about this on one of our other episodes, but I've unfollowed or removed, like, my Facebook. I have very, very little news on my Facebook or social media at all. Yeah. So generally I'm pretty good at not seeing much. Maybe I'll see little things, things that kind of matter more to me are the ones that I see, as opposed to, like she says, the nonsense and the overly graphic things I don't want to know about anyways. Like, I don't really have to see those. I have to go looking for them, and I'm not going to look for them. Yeah.
I think there's this feeling that everybody has to take a stance now on everything, and you don't.
No.
Like, you can have an opinion, but you don't have to express it all the time.
Yeah. And I'm, as far as like politics and things like that go, I'm fully on the ignorance is bliss side of this. I don't want to know.
Yeah.
I don't, and this is gonna piss some people off, I think, but you know, yes, we have the right to vote, and we have that option, all that stuff, and I think it's important, but I don't want to get too involved in it, and I don't want to do too much research, and I don't, because then it starts changing my opinion of how things are, and I start getting upset about things, and it's like, it's just not worth it.
If you know that you're the type of person that is going to not be able to disconnect from that, and you're going to bear those burdens, then you should be handling it that way. And I've always been of the opinion, if you ask yourself, can I change this? Do I have any ability to impact this? If the answer is no, then don't watch it. Yeah. You know? And the other thing is, the quote, be the change you want to see in the world. I'm more that type of a person where I cannot, and this is another thing that my brother always would fight me on, like, why don't you go out there and do something? I'm like, why don't you go out there and do something? Yeah. But at the end of the day, I feel that I am. I really try to lift people up every day. I try, when I did have social media, to post positive things, and try not to be negative in any of my comments, and really just be a source of light for people. And that is my way of giving back. I can't, well, I guess I could, but I don't feel led to sell everything and go over and work in an impoverished country right now. I'm raising my daughter currently to hopefully be a human who's going to give back to society. And in that way, I am giving back to society. Yeah. So everybody has their own little corner of the world that they can impact. And that is you giving back. Don't ever feel that your little act of service is not big enough. It's something, right?
Just put the kindness out in the world that you want to see.
That's right.
That's all you can do.
Yeah. Okay.
He's been here the whole time. You just couldn't see him.
Yeah. I feel like he senses the gravity of the conversation. In his own way, he's trying to bring us joy as well.
And he is.
Or maybe he's not trying to, but he just is.
He just does. He
just
naturally
by being,
does.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much all we had for today. We have a couple more coming up that are going to be really fun. And if anybody has any ideas of things they want us to talk about too.
Absolutely.
Yep. We like the feedback.
We do. And leave comments anywhere if you want to. I mean, I know we get them directly to us, which is really nice, and we appreciate it. Yeah. We but you can also put it on our comments and stuff like that.
Yeah. I had somebody say something to me about social media. I think it was the beginning of last week. We were maybe 3 days into me not having it, and she was like, well, yes you are, you're posting your TikTok thingies or whatever. And I was like, not TikTok, the episode. And I said,
Yeah.
no, she's in charge of all the media stuff.
Yeah.
I didn't even see it. She just tags me in it.
Yeah.
I have nothing to do with it. And as much as I did struggle with that, I'm like, I feel like I should be doing my part social media wise and sharing things. And the only thing that I do is every once in a while I'll go on the TikTok and I'll like if somebody likes something or makes a comment, I'll respond. Or I will follow them back as well. If you follow us on TikTok, we're going to follow you back automatically. Yeah. So, because I think it's important. And I'm trying to follow a lot of Canadian content. I was just watching the TikTok for the girl. I don't remember her name, I'm sorry. But she did the elbows up thing and took the video of the liquor stores where they had taken all the American liquor out. And now there's a Nova Scotia. She's from Yarmouth, I believe, Nova Scotia. And there's a Yarmouth local company that's now producing the elbows up material. So maybe we can find a link and put that under. Yeah. But you can get the t-shirts, the Canadian t-shirts made and that say elbows up. And so we need to support our country. I love the fact that there's a lot more Canadian flags on our street right now. We put one out and there's, I think, 4 others. So people are starting to realize like Americans are very good at being patriotic and we aren't as good at that. But we are
at least
so
not
lucky.
Here. Where we live. I don't know if it's all through Canada that's like that, but
yeah, I think in general,
the Maritimes in general, we're just pretty chill.
Yeah, I was having this conversation with one of my coworkers who's from Cuba, and I said, in Canada, we've never known really war on our soil.
That's true.
I understand that there has been wars in Canada. In Quebec there was. I know other history better than I know my own. It's horrible, but anyways. My husband could answer that. He said he'd come on the show, by the way. I'm not sure if I'm ready for that. Anyway, so we need to be more patriotic, and I like the fact that we're all putting flags out, and I bought a couple t-shirts to wear to work that have Canadian flags on them, and just regardless of which side you stand on politically, we stand on the side of Canada. So
definitely,
hopefully this has been a bit of a wake-up call. We should never take our freedom for granted. We do not want to be the 51st state, just for the record.
No, I want to stay Canada.
And this is hopefully the most political we'll ever be on this podcast, but I do think
Chances
it's important.
Are pretty good at that,
Yeah. Neither one of us are all that political.
No.
But we just want to bring joy to the world in our own little way.
Yep.
And so if you have liked the podcast so far and we've brought you any joy, then we're grateful for that. And if not, then stay tuned and maybe the next episode will do it for you.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Or watch back our other ones if you didn't watch them yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there anything you've been loving this week?
I've been a very, very thorough project of my hair right now. So I've been, I don't know. I've been loving my determination is what I've been loving, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to talk you down off the ledge a bit with this one because it's been a process getting here. So for you to spend that much time getting to one color, you got to stay there for a bit.
Yeah.
And last episode, we talked about, how long we thought you were going to keep this. And
so I'm still working on it because I'm going to put my extensions back in, but it's just getting it to the right color where they match perfectly. And I'm still on the journey. It's still going. I'm determined. I'm gonna make it happen.
The journey's half the fun.
Yeah.
So, I'm loving spring. Next
Yeah.
week is officially spring. The time has changed. It gets dark at like 7:30 at night now-ish. And so every night we've been coming home, having supper, doing the dishes, and going for a walk. Building those neural pathways.
Yeah.
And I have 2 weeks in of no wine, going for walks, which are my 2 things I'm working on changing right now. And the social media obviously is kind of a side note, but so yeah, I feel I had a little moment this week where I had a little rough time, but then coming out of it and going, okay, it's a bad moment, not a bad life.
Yeah.
And so I'm joyful about that I can bring myself around. I don't stay in that space of being negative and upset for too long, but it can manifest itself physically though, and I had migraines and everything from it. So
yeah, you get a lot of tension from stress.
Yeah, and I bear all of that like in my neck.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I do too. Yeah, it's like my shoulders. Like It's like I feel like I'm always like this, even though I'm not, but that's the feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm not a doctor, but I will give this little piece of advice that somebody gave me a long time ago, and it 100% works. If you have tension in your neck and your shoulders and you tend to get headaches because it travels up, putting a wet hand towel in the microwave for about 2 minutes with a little bit of either peppermint oil or something that's sort of minty, like an A535. I think that's what that's called. Anyway, muscle relaxing cream. You put that on your neck and then put the hot towel on there till it gets cold. Then you put an ice pack on and you rotate that 3 times. And 99% of the time it has worked for me that it has gotten rid of the migraine, released the tension in the muscles. It's the hot cold thing. I don't remember if that was a physiotherapist or a massage therapist that told me that, but it works. So if
That's
you have issues with that,
work.
yeah, because your neck is there's a lot of kinds of pain that you can't really disconnect from. Teeth pain is one of them.
Yeah. Ear pain's another one.
Ear pain, anything in this vicinity,
Yeah.
I don't know if it's because it's close to your brain and your brain just knows it.
Not sure.
You're getting too close to me.
Yeah, it's not fun anyways.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah.
So let us know the things that bring you joy. We'd like to read those. And it might remind us of things that, that brings me joy too.
Yeah.
It's always fun.
It'd be cool to do an episode too where there's all of our viewers that are kind of give us a question, and we do one episode that's just on answering your guys' questions. That would be really cool too. And we are going to have some guests on.
Yeah.
So if you are in this area and you are interested in being on one, send us a note.
Yeah, let us know what topic you'd like to talk about, and I'm sure we would be interested in it.
Yeah, because we have stuff to say about everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's not an issue for us. So
we'll find ways to talk about it.
Yep.
All right, so that's it for this one.
Yeah.
So from us to you,
keep growing and glowing.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much for watching our podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, please like and subscribe, and follow us on our social media at Lou&Sue Podcast on both Instagram and TikTok. See you next week.